and I was an intern. So I studied at Manchester Metropolitan and then I did my year internship at Manchester Airport. I now work part-time at the airport as well as finishing my studies, and I'm also a campus brand manager for Enterprise. So some of you might have seen me on campus if you are from Manchester Met.
Thank you. Tom.
Hi everyone, my name's Tom. I've been working as a management trainee with Enterprise Mobility for just under 7 months now. I did graduate from university around 18 months ago. I studied economics and Spanish at the University of Leeds. I did a couple of other things before beginning my journey with Enterprise, and I'm 7 months in and absolutely loving it so far.
Fantastic. And finally, I'm Catherine Rawcliffe. I am talent acquisition, recruitment marketing for the UK and Ireland, but specifically spend most of my time in the Northwest and North Wales region, looking after some 22 universities in the area and making sure we build the best partnerships in order to attract the best talent into the business. So working with our company, I've been actually with Enterprise 26 years in March, which is a great milestone. But like everyone, I started as a management trainee. So as we move in, I'm going to talk now a little bit more about Enterprise Mobility. So we might be an international organisation, but we've got a really local mindset. Enterprise Mobility was founded on a core set of values and behaviours that we live by every day. Throughout this session today, you're going to learn more about our values and how they're incorporated into our day-to-day. Tom, Anna, I will just ask you now, from our values and from what we see every day in our business, which ones would you say stand out and mean something most to you? So I'll start with Tom.
I mean, for me, I think this is probably because of the way that I am as a person. But customer service is our way of life, is something that really rings true to me. I think it's such an important thing in terms of providing good customer service. And also just it makes the day better. If you get on with customers that you're dealing with, if you have a good experience with them, it brightens up your day, brightens up their day. I think if we can make sure that on people's first interaction with the company, we provide them with an excellent service, it not only kind of gives them the incentive to come back to ourselves, but it also builds personal relationships with customers as well, which for me is something that I find extremely important. I think it's such a great company in the sense of everyone tends to be a similar age who you're working with day to day, and relationships that you form with other staff members, but also relationships that you do form with customers are the biggest thing, the main reason why I do love working for the company so much.
Fantastic. Anna, what about yourself?
I would definitely say that we work hard and we reward hard work. I think Catherine will touch a little bit on it later, but one of the main reasons that I joined Enterprise was due to the career progression. And even throughout my internship, I saw this myself. So I completed my qualification and I got £500 bonus for that. That's something that everyone that's in the company does. And you really do see everyone around you progressing, getting promoted right in front of you. So it does seem really achievable. So I'd definitely say that, yeah, that we work hard and we reward hard work.
Fantastic. So when you join our management training program, you're not just stepping into a career, you're stepping into a global powerhouse. 39 billion turnover, which is a testament to our consistent performance and financial strength. 90,000 team members across 95 countries, a truly international footprint with opportunities to grow and connect. 9.5k global rental branches and 475 of those are in the UK and Ireland. So wherever you're based, there's an opportunity close to you. We're an investment grade company, so we are backed by strong financial ratings and long-term resilience. So what does this mean for you? It means you're building your career in a company that's not only thriving, but is actually built to last. In a world of uncertainty, we offer stability, security, and a clear path forward. Enterprise Mobility has been moving mobility forward for nearly 70 years. We're inspired by a bold idea to create better experiences for how the world moves. So in 2023, we connected the business full of portfolio offerings, including car rental, fleet management, flexible vehicle hire, vehicle subscription, luxury rental, technology solutions, and more. And under a new corporate brand became Enterprise Mobility. And this marked the beginning of a new chapter and reinforced commitment to deliver exceptional service for partners, customers, and communities, innovating with intention to meet their ever-changing needs. The brand and services that customers know and love remain key in the offerings of Enterprise Mobility. This includes Enterprise Rent-A-Car, National Car Rental, Alamo, Enterprise Car Share, Car Club, Enterprise Fleet Management, Enterprise Car Sales, Enterprise Truck Rental, Enterprise Flexi Rent, Exotic Car Collection by Enterprise, and Commute with Enterprise and Integral. So a lot of different business lines. The motivation behind the corporate brand shift was to reflect the business evolution from a fleet of 7 cars nearly 70 years ago to a global network of diverse mobility solutions, serving consumers, businesses, and governments, including car rental, fleet management, flexible vehicle hire, car sharing, van pooling, car sales, truck rental, vehicle subscription, luxury rental, technology solutions, and much more. Okay, so this is our purpose statement. We advance the world one journey at a time. We invest in and care about each other and our communities and every individual journey. It's a point of pride and distinction rooted in our origins. It's what will continue to drive the future of the business. People make our organisation. And it's our culture that helps us be recognised as an employer of choice. So we are 3-time Target Jobs Graduate Employer of the Year. We've been voted Hiring's #1 top 100 undergraduate employer. We've received the Exceptional Workplace Award from Gallup. And these are just a few of the notable awards and shows that great things happen when we listen to not only our customers, but each other. I'll ask Tom and Anna now, what stands out to you when you see our awards and our adverts? What do you think about?
I think for me personally, you know, the day-to-day side of things is fantastic. You know, my satisfaction levels within the workplace are great. I'm always happy. You know, I'm excited to come into work. I'm excited to learn new things. But I think for me, the big thing that sets Enterprise apart from other people is just the level of progression that is available from such an early stage within your career. I'm probably a little bit older in starting my career with Enterprise than some people. So I'm 25 and 7 months in. But it's like the assistant manager in my branch, so what my direct line manager, she's 22 and she's already in a management position within a company. I think in a lot of other industries and also a lot of other companies, no matter what the industry is, it's a little bit more difficult to kind of progress to that level so quickly. You have people, and you know, financially the reward is there, but also on a personal level and professional level in terms of development. There's so many people within the company that really inspire me to want to, you know, better myself through that journey. I just can't think of another company that really gives you the opportunity to make those steps so quickly within your career.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I completely agree with what Thomas said there. As I said before, one of my main reasons for coming to Enterprise was the career progression. But I did also have like research, company culture and what they do in the background. And Enterprise does a lot of charity initiatives, that sort of thing. So that was important to me coming somewhere for an internship. I really wanted to make sure I was throwing myself in. So as a graduate or as an intern, you get the chance to do loads of charity things, which was really important to me. Like children in need, that sort of thing. And I think that really sets Enterprise apart from other companies.
Fantastic. So we're going to look a little bit more now at the management training program itself. So the management training program follows the same structured approach for both our graduate roles and our internship and placements. And this means that everyone who joins us, students, graduates, they get consistent, high quality development across all entry routes. As a management trainee, you'll have the freedom and support to explore your leadership potential. You'll have the opportunity, the support, and guidance to become a branch manager in one of our retail operations in as little as 2 years. As an intern, you'll progress in exactly the same way. A lot of our interns, after their final year at university, will step straight into an assistant manager role. Fun fact, most of our senior leaders started their careers in the graduate management trainee role, including our current CEO, Chrissy Taylor. We'll reward your development and successes with a performance-based incentive and opportunities for that continued promotion. We also have a promote from within culture, which gives you the chance to explore many careers without ever having to change organisations. There will be a little more on the progression routes shortly in the presentation. Anna, I'll start off with you. You've talked a little bit already about that reward side and that promotion opportunity and recognition. Would you talk to us a little bit more about the employee recognition days that you get the opportunity to take part in?
Yeah, so you have like a My Purpose, My Time day that you get given. You also have like a charity day that you get given once a year. So you can go and help a charity out of your choice. And then the company sort of pays you for that day.
Fantastic. Tom, if you could tell us a little bit about Elite Club and what's available to our employees when we recognise performance.
So there's so many different matrices that are used to kind of measure performance. There's obviously day to day, you have, you know, direct feedback from management within the office, from management without the office that you would work with on a day-to-day basis. But then there are also schemes such as Elite Club, where there are financial incentives for doing well. So Elite Club's mainly based off of the sales side of things. So everyone's kind of sales figures get tracked over the month, and then people who have exceptional figures do receive you know, recognition in terms of, you know, it's a group wide thing where big parts of enterprise will all receive the email to state who's been in that club. So obviously it feels fantastic to have your name put out there to so many senior leaders, but also other people within the same role as yourself. And then there is also financial incentive that if you do get, you know, one of these awards, you do receive financial compensation for that. There's also many other ways that you can receive bonuses throughout the company. I know Kath mentioned earlier that there's so many different ways that enterprise is diversified. It's not just the rent-a-car side of things now. Enterprise mobility is kind of the umbrella for so many different parts of the business. Enterprise car club's a big one. If you sign someone up to the car club application and they use it, you get £50 in your paycheck, or however much it is. You know, I think it's 35 for signing them up. So that's like, there's people who are working for enterprise and making £700, £800, £900 bonuses, and that's without even being promoted yet. So it really is, there is so much opportunity to, one, get financial recognition, but also get recognition from senior leaders or other members of management within the company.
Fantastic. And I think that kind of highlights that recognition, that performance that we're always looking for in the business. And I remember going back many years as a trainee, and I'd only been in the business a few months when I got recognised for opening up a new account that brought in a certain amount of money each month, which was a new business account. And the pride as a new trainee that I had with that situation. But also I got a reward day where I actually got to meet some future senior leaders in the business at that time. So very early on in my career, that whole reward, that networking and that mentorship was already starting to show. So I think you're right, you know, there's so many different ways that we can look at this and gain reward. Whether you're building on your existing skills or learning new ones, supporting your career development is top priority. Everything from that initial classroom setting to the on-the-job training and the mentorship that you'll be given, you'll have plenty of opportunities to refine those skills and prepare for the next step. What is certain is that we encourage all of our team members to be the best they can be and ensure that every employee feels valued, supported, and empowered to bring their best selves to work. Our organisation is a fun and friendly place where teamwork rules. We know that our teams grow by having a great time while working together towards that common goal. Anna, we'll start off with you. What would you say when it comes to the culture of Enterprise? What have you experienced so far?
It is so positive here, is in a sense of like everyone is similar age. You get to go on like branch nights out, branch meals, and we have branch competitions. So they try and make every day as like fun as it sort of can be, whilst because at Enterprise you've got to build your personal brand, but you get so much opportunity to do that, and you have so much support from other people because everyone's been in the exact same position that you've been. So the company culture is something that I would talk about all the time because it is so positive. Everyone actually really does want you to do well.
Fantastic. Tom?
Yeah, I would definitely second a lot of what Anna said there. The idea that you can kind of speak to anyone within the company is so true. I'll always remember when I did my branch visit, which is obviously something that a lot of you guys may be doing in the future if you reach that stage of the application process. It was actually someone a higher level than it should have been that did my visit due to unforeseen circumstances and a logistical issue. And so I, from that day, built a relationship with someone who is, it wouldn't mean anything to you guys, the role, but they are the general manager of the group that I work in. And that is like to have build that relationship from, you know, kind of day one of my experience, really, because before that it'd only been calls online. To now that he emails me regularly to check in how I'm doing. When he's in the area, he asks me if I want to go for a coffee. The vice president of the group in Enterprise sent me an email 2 weeks ago asking, could I have your input on what you think about this? Because when we spoke about it, when I last visited your branch, you had a great idea. Like these things, these are people that are, you know, they are very, very, very high up within the company. And I have built a relationship with these people already within kind of 7 months of being with the company. So many people have obviously started from the bottom and worked their way up in Enterprise that everyone is so friendly and so welcoming and so easy to kind of get advice from because they have been in the position you are. And some of them relatively recently have been in that position.
I think as well what's really nice is that when you start, you do get given a mentor. So that is someone that's like a few levels up. Mine was like a head of the risk department, and we used to go out for coffees, have a catch up, and if you needed any help with anything, that's just sort of a support line that you've got there, as well as everyone in the branch. And sometimes it's nice to also have like external opinions of someone that you're not working with on a day-to-day basis. So that's also really nice when you in the first sort of year that you start.
Fantastic. So, who will you actually work with as a management trainee? Well, you will definitely work with your area manager, your branch manager, your assistant manager, and you'll have customers and business partners. And your job will be to build the relationships, like we've mentioned, have those mentors in each of those roles and build your brand. That's key. And this is what a typical career map would look like at Enterprise Mobility. As we mentioned, from joining as a graduate, you could become a branch manager in our retail network in as little as 2 years, which would actually be 3 promotions down. As a branch manager, you'll be in charge of your own team and your own profits. And at this point in your career, you'll have the opportunity to explore one of the many other exciting career paths within enterprise mobility. So you may have taken some interest in human resources or accounting, revenue management, sales or marketing, and we will make sure that you have the support to get into into those positions if that's what you wish for. Anna, your journey so far, obviously you've completed your internship, you're in your final year, you've got a lot of pressure with university, and you're doing an outstanding job as my campus brand manager. So where's your path? Where's it heading right now?
So my path at the minute is very exciting. So I started as an intern. I completed my qualification that you need to do to progress to be able to apply for assistant managers roles. I did that whilst I was on placement, so that is all done. So I'm ready for when I come back to start applying for assistant manager roles straight away, which that in itself is really exciting to get promoted maybe to the next level. However, an opportunity has come up to potentially be moving to Dublin, which is what I'm in the midst of right now, just in the application process. So fingers crossed that's the next sort of stage for me. But like Catherine said, there's so many different things you can go into. And that was not sort of on my bingo card to be potentially moving to Dublin, but this job has given me so many opportunities. As Catherine mentioned as well, I'm also campus brand manager, so that's just opened another sort of door for me, seeing what the recruitment sort of side of it is like. And I know that in future, if I wanted to go into recruitment within the business, I've got that sort of experience behind me.
Tom, your journey 7 months in, what are your plans?
Something that I think is so brilliant about the graduate program is that it's not a time thing. So, that a lot of people think, well, how long's your grad scheme? Is it 2 years? Is it 3 years? With enterprise mobility, the grad scheme, it basically ends when you're ready to move on to the next step. So there's something called the management qualification interview, which is what Anna's already done whilst on her placement, which I'm currently basically at the point of being ready to complete. So I'm 7 months in and I'm already, not very far off at all from getting that first promotion. So that could be kind of like, hopefully within the next month or two, so 8 or 9 months in, and I will have already had that initial promotion, which is obviously then when you can apply for assistant manager roles. But I just think it's great that it's about what you put in. And I know that that's quite a cliche saying in terms of a lot of people think, but there are people that I know that are management trainees that have been at the company for, a lot longer than I have, but it's because they're not necessarily pushing to be in the next level that they need to be. And the thing that I find great is that all of these people that are in this position, I can already see them being mentored by people to try and drag them out of a rut that they may be in and get them ready to, be in that next step. Whereas someone like me, who I've kind of, I've really taken to the business, I've taken to the idea, I've fallen in love with a lot of the things that enterprise as a company kind of stands for. And so I'm 7 months in and looking quite quickly to progress into an assistant manager role, which I think is fantastic. I also would like to note that even though the traditional route in terms of development and diversifying your role would be often to be a branch manager before you can do so, it's not always the case. I have a friend who works in one of the other branches in the area, and he's just been promoted to a different role with our damage recovery unit. So that's a team that deals with the claims side of things and vehicle repairs and talking about when vehicles are damaged, how we kind of proceed from that. And he's been promoted into that role from a management assistant role. So he did his qualification interview and then moved straight over into that team. So there definitely are opportunities to kind of sidestep before you become a branch manager, even though it might be a little bit more of a traditional route to have to get to that level first.
I think that's a really good point as well. Everyone's journey is going to be a little bit unique to themselves. And one of the things that we do encourage, like you've both said, is that development based off your performance and where your career goals are. And, for someone who's wanting to gain experience in a new role, it doesn't always have to be that upward promotion. It can be those sideways moves to allow that development and allow that knowledge to put you in a much stronger position further down the line as a manager and a leader. So definitely so many opportunities. And with that said, Last year, we saw 22,000 internal promotions across various positions. And that's testament to our promote from within culture. And typically, as a management trainee, you will see your first promotion within that first 9 months of working with us. What skills are you going to get? So from your very first day, you'll be trusted with real responsibilities and exposed to all areas of our business. You'll develop skills in the following areas: sales and marketing. That would be the chance to connect with local businesses, partners, grow your network, and you'll develop your lasting relationships internally and externally. Customer service. Customer service will be delivering exceptional service by confidently handling reservations, resolving inquiries, and building rapport with a diverse range of customers and partners. Operations and logistics. That'll be where you'll learn how to manage a fleet, plan strategically, and drive that branch performance. Financial control and profitability. You'll be training and learning and understanding the financials and the financial mechanics of a successful business, including cost control and interpreting profit and loss statements. Leadership and development. Sometimes we learn from doing. You'll take the lead in mentoring, training, and developing your own team, and with the opportunity to manage and promote others as you grow. Anna, have you had the opportunity in, your first year or so to help other people, like mentor other people?
Yeah, so everyone that is in the branch is still also working towards their sort of qualifications. So it's so nice to be able to sit down, go through what I've learned and help sort of coach them to the next stages of their career as well. I think in terms of like the skills that you've learned, all of the ones listed, yeah, I've learned them. But personally, I've also gained so many skills from working here. My confidence has increased majorly. Like before I started, I would not have thought I could lead a team like I do. And tomorrow it's my first, or on Friday, it's my first opening up shift as a assistant manager, so shall we say. So yeah, when I first started, I never would have thought I'd be able to do that. But all of these things together have helped me to be able to.
Fantastic. Tom, what about your skills and how have they been kind of strengthened over the first 7 months?
100%. I think starting off in my role, I think my customer service abilities were already really good. I had experience doing things like that. But sales wise, I had very limited experience and it wasn't something that I was particularly good at. And you can, there's, because we are tracked on our sales, there's figures that you can see. My current figures for this month are 750% higher than they were in my first month at the company. Like I have, that just shows just sales alone. The progression is, I'm if you go just off the data, I'm 7.5 times better than I was when I started, which is obviously fantastic. I think the operations and logistics side of things is massive. The onus on the person who kind of operates as the assistant manager for the day, as Anna was saying, to, manage the fleet in a way that maximizes profitability for the branch itself, but also that keeps customers satisfied and also keeps staff happy in the roles that they're performing day to day. It is such kind of like a diversified role that it's something that even as a trainee now, I'm developing daily. I've had a few opportunities to be in the assistant role and, run the fleet for the day within my branch already. And just kind of by doing that, you gain so much experience. The opportunity to take on additional responsibilities is something that has led to me gaining so many skills that I didn't even really realize that this job would kind of help you with. Like at the end of the day, the car rental, the van rental, that is kind of, for me, I'm using that as a vessel to kind of gain so many other skills and qualities and abilities that I can then utilize, whether that is in the daily rental side of things or with the the amazing opportunities that you have to move elsewhere within enterprise mobility.
Fantastic. And I think that is exactly it, being able to recognize where your skill set is and where you can develop, and having the people around you to help you do that is so key to everyone's development. And interesting that that sales point often comes up when we're talking to new candidates who are coming into our process, who often don't think that they maybe have the experience of sales or are going to be good at sales. But often we link that to the customer service, because ultimately, if you're a people person, you can build those relationships, those lasting relationships that return business, that ultimately they become good with sales and marketing as well. Our application process is really simple and very inclusive, and only has 4 stages. So step one is the online application form, and it's a short 10 to 15-minute application. More important to remember that we do not require a specific grade or a specific subject that you have studied. So we are open to all degree disciplines. Step two will be the virtual interview, and that will be a chance to meet one of our talent acquisition team, and you'll find even more out about our company and gain a better understanding of the role and the competencies that you have. Step three will be the branch visit, which Tom touched on earlier. You'll visit a branch location, and you'll actually get to spend some time with the team, and you'll experience almost a day in the life of Enterprise Mobility. So you'll have an interview whilst you're there, usually with the area manager, and they will make that final decision. Again, it'll be competency based. And the final stage is the official welcome to the management trainee programme. Once you do apply to Enterprise Mobility, you will be invited to another virtual session that allows you to learn and continue to meet different people in the business, learn more about the application process and each stage in more depth. Your experience, Anna, do you remember what your branch visit interview was like? How did you get involved?
Yeah, so mine was actually at Manchester Airport as well. So I arrived in the morning, and I then had a little walk around the branch to the different areas. So in the airport, it's a bit bigger than the local branches because it's a much bigger operation. So I sort of got shown what everything was, and then I was just shadowing each different section for maybe like half an hour each. I then got to sit with one of the assistant managers, and we were just having a chat about their career, that sort of thing. And then I came in the back and I had my interview actually with the branch manager at the time, because the area manager was unavailable. But I was really glad that I got the person that I got, because she's now an area manager. We're still in really good connection and everything. And she was still the branch manager when I started in the same branch. So it was really nice to have that sort of connection. But yeah, it was a nice day, and it wasn't, some interviews can feel really daunting and really scary, but because everyone in the branch has already done exactly what you're doing, you just get the support from everyone around you.
Fantastic. What about your experience, Tom?
Mine was interesting, to say the least, to be honest. I think I went into, so I was at the Aintree branch where I did my branch visit, and at the time the branch manager was off on annual leave. Their assistant manager had just been promoted to a different role and hadn't been replaced yet, so they had no management team within the branch at the time. So the area manager, who came to obviously conduct the interview with myself and show me around, actually ended up, basically working within the branch for the day. But her boss, as I mentioned before, was in the office at the same time. So I had a really interesting day because I got to kind of see how each day is so different from one another. There was actually a van in the back of the car park at the branch that a customer had returned. They'd lost the key, but the key was still in the van because it was one where it's a start-stop button to start the vehicle from moving. So me and the gentleman, who's obviously quite high up in the company, spent half an hour on our hands and knees crawling around the van trying to find the key. And he said to me, if you find the key, you can have a job. If you don't find it, you're not getting the job. I didn't find the key. So I was thinking, oh God, here we go. But by the end, he was like, just by getting to know you there, we're not actually going to sit down and do a formal interview, because I can gauge from the conversations we've just had while doing this that you are an ideal candidate for the job. And so on the spot offered me a job, which is obviously a little bit different from the traditional experience that most people have. But just shows again that, one, the relationships that you can build within the company are amazing, and two, that every day is so different that I'm never bored in work. I never come into work thinking, oh God, I've got to do the same thing as I did yesterday and the day before, because every day is so different and there's so many different roles that you can get involved in. And I think my branch visit really showed me that before I started in the job as well.
Fantastic. I love these stories, and that just shows we are a very down-to-earth company. We can adapt to different situations that we might not have planned. Mine was very traditional. It's a long time ago, but I remember it was like yesterday. And I walked into the branch, and I actually had the branch manager there, the area manager, and there was a very small team. And I got, like Anna, I got that chance to kind of spend some time with different people in the branch, and had my interview with the area manager. And I was initially, before I went there, I was so nervous. And I think the good thing about Enterprise is, because we're trying to get the best out of you and we're trying to encourage you to showcase your own skill set at every point that we have contact with you. And the human element is so identifiable. When you're in the branch, you get to be part of that team and you can really see yourself in the role. And that's why it's so important for anyone that they have that time in a branch to see the role, to see the types of people that we have working there and the customers and the partners, so that you can make sure that it's right for you as well. And I think that's always really key, to remember that it's a two-way process, but great that we can give this really valuable experience to people who are looking at joining our company. So competencies. So here are the key competencies that we look for in a management trainee. We look for customer service. This is the most important thing at Enterprise. Our goal is to exceed customers' expectations. Communication, a big part of being great at communication is listening. So you should be able to lend an ear and get your point across. Leadership. If you're the type of person that believes teamwork makes great things happen, then we are definitely looking for you. Work ethic. We want proactive people looking to deliver great results. Sales aptitude. Getting to know your teammates and building those relationships with them, the customers and partners, are sales strategies that are going to be vital to our growth and success. Flexibility. If you're willing to get things done and quickly, then we're ready to kind of meet those customers' needs while juggling other tasks. So we do a lot of multitasking. Then definitely, if you can manage that, you're the right fit for us. Just going to bring those up so you can actually see them as well as I've talked about them. Throughout its history, we've been committed to our founding value. Our doors are open. When it comes to creating a workplace where everyone can thrive, we're all in. Employee resource groups are a great structured way in which team members connect with their peers who share similar backgrounds, life experiences, interests, and are all open. These are open to all team members. In addition, we provide formal coaching and mentorship programs, which we've touched on earlier, to ensure everyone has the resource that they need to be successful in their role. We also have diversity councils that are all about creating space for real, honest conversations around the challenges we all face, both in and outside of work. They're a great way for us to listen, learn, and grow together. Our diversity councils are guided by 3 pillars: talent and opportunity, making sure that everyone has a fair say, a fair show; inclusive culture, building a workplace where everyone feels that they belong, community engagement, the staying connected and supporting the communities that we're a part of. And we want to make meaningful progress and not just talk about it. So that's the reason why that we have so many things that people can get involved with. We've touched on a couple of things from charity days, etc. Just looking at more to do with driving diversity and inclusion within our business. Anna, have you had the chance yet to be involved in any of the groups that we have?
Yeah, so throughout my internship, I was involved in the female focus groups. So for that, we went to sort of head office and we had some sessions. And then following on from that, because we enjoyed it so much, I was like a sales captain for my branch. I noticed that the women in the branch weren't underperforming in any other area, just the sales sort of side. So I hosted my own sort of like female focus group led sales masterclass, and we got a branch manager from a different branch. She came in, talked about her career, and we just went through where we think we're going wrong, where we think we could improve, and just supporting each other really in that. So that was really nice to be involved in that, and then sort of make the group that we did in the branch.
Fantastic. Tom, have you had the opportunity as yet?
I haven't been directly involved in any kind of schemes. I'm aware that they exist, and funnily enough, in 19 minutes, all the females that work in our branch are actually going on one of those group calls. So that just shows that it really does exist. I've actually got 18 minutes till I have to be out this office, so no, I'm joking. But it really does show that it does exist day to day and that everyone's kind of included. I would say that you can see diversity within the area. You get to know everyone who works in the area, not just the people that work within your branch. And there's people from all different walks of life, which I think is just brilliant in terms of, for me on a personal level, just building those relationships with different people that I may not have had exposure to in different parts of life. And it's just a great company where, inclusivity is massively, massively something that's valued.
Fantastic. So looking at our business again, we do lots of things, but we do this by fostering a culture of community engagement and funding programs that kind of help the environment, drive social progress, and empower the places where we live and work. By leveraging our presence in thousands of communities, we can respond to natural disasters and help address challenges such as hunger and social inequity through partnerships, a grants program, volunteerism, and team member giving. Through the operating groups and the Enterprise Mobility Foundation, we've contributed more than 870 million to a wide variety of non-profit organisations worldwide, and more than 113 million in our 2025 fiscal year alone. I had first-hand experience, as I'm sure everyone will in their own way, of helping at community centres where we've done painting and decorating. We've also done work at shelters. We do a lot of work with things like FareShare. And then more recently in my role, I've had the fantastic opportunity to make use of the Enterprise Mobility Giving as a team member to put forward donation requests where I have partnerships in the Northwest. So 5 of them have just gone forward into the submission, and they're going to be helping projects with our local universities and partners, which in turn will help the future talent that join the university. We strengthen our communities one neighbourhood at a time. The Enterprise Mobility business began in neighbourhoods. We owe our success to the people in the communities where we live and work. We're committed to supporting them and growing together. We have a variety of initiatives, but to name a couple, we have Fill Your Tank programme. We've committed 210 million through to 2030, which helps address food insecurities by supporting local food banks and programmes. 50 million tree pledge. We aim to plant 50 million trees by 2056 throughout the US, UK, Ireland, Canada, France, Germany, and Spain. And the Roots and Roots is a 60 million commitment through to 2027, which is where we'll continue helping keep pollutants out of rivers and streams. And finally, our Road Forward initiative, which is a 165 million commitment through to 2030, which supports organisations that advance social equality in local communities. The UK partners are Book Trust, the Girls Network, and Children's Books Ireland. And I'm fortunate to be involved with the Girls Network as a mentor. So again, although we have things that we can reach out to, we can also go external as well to help other people in our communities. So I'd like to thank Anna and Tom for your contributions today. I could not have done this without you. We really hope that you've had a real insight into a career with Enterprise Mobility. If it sounds like the right thing, go on our website and apply. Please go ahead and connect with us. Anna, Tom, myself, are all on our socials like LinkedIn. You'll also find Enterprise Mobility across the Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So again, please make sure that you connect with us, and we are happy then after today to answer questions once we're connected. So thank you for everyone's time today. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon.